The atrocities committed by the British Empire to maintain its rule in the Indian subcontinent include the inhumane oppression of the Quasar Khwani massacre. Indian history is filled with personalities and events that bear striking similarities, yet a clear double standard and discriminatory attitude are evident. If one character or tragedy is deeply etched in people's minds and hearts, the other is lost in the pages of history. The infamous and ruthless General Dyer is remembered by all, but the name of Sir H. Aubrey Metcalfe seems to have faded from memory. In British India, it was rare for any British officer to be punished for their crimes. Even those guilty of grave offences like massacres were quietly shielded from legal proceedings and sent back to Britain. The most evident example of this is General Dyer, the perpetrator of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, who was forcibly retired and sent back to his homeland. However, adding insult to injury, Metcalfe, responsible for the massacre of dozens of unarmed individuals in Peshawar's Quasar Khwani Bazaar, was not only promoted to Chief Commissioner of Balochistan in 1939 but was also honoured with the title of Sir and several other distinctions. It happened on April 23, 1930, when the British rulers arrested Pashtun nationalist, peace advocate, and freedom fighter Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Known as Bachar Khan, he had, just a month earlier, founded the Khudai Khidmatgar organization under his leadership. Members of the Khudai Khidmatgar had gathered in Peshawar's Quasar Khwani Bazaar, awaiting their leader. Upon hearing of Bachar Khan's arrest, a wave of protests swept through the entire province, and his supporters began to assemble. As the Deputy Commissioner of Peshawar, Metcalfe ordered the protesters to disperse, but no one paid heed. Faced with the growing crowd, Metcalfe called in armoured vehicles, one of which crushed 14 people in its path. In response, the crowd set the vehicle on fire, with British personnel still inside at the time. In this situation, Sir Metcalfe gave the order to open fire. Soldiers of the British Army's Royal Garhwal Rifles refused to raise their weapons, but Metcalfe brought forward other troops to teach the Khudai Khidmatgars a lesson. According to eyewitnesses, the British seemed to believe that firing a few bullets and leaving some bodies behind would scare the rest of the protesters into fleeing. However, as the people in the front lines fell, more individuals from the back stepped forward to take their place. It is said that the firing continued throughout the day. Some accounts claim that rivers of blood flowed through the streets of Quasar Khwani, carrying hundreds of bodies with them. Olaf Caro, who was known for his sympathy towards the Pashtuns and considered Peshawar his home, was serving as the secretary to the Chief Commissioner at the time. Caro later became the governor of this province, a friend of Bachar Khan, and authored the renowned book The Pathans. However, speaking to the BBC in the 1970s, even Caro could only admit the operation was not handled properly. In the interview, Caro mentioned that when he left the secretariat, he saw protesters filling the streets across the city, with approximately 15 deaths reported. However, while the official government estimate claimed 20 fatalities, all local sources placed the number at no less than 200. It is surprising that Caro lacked this information, especially since, after the commissioner's nervous breakdown, he personally arranged for bodies to be loaded into vehicles and sent off for burial. Mukulika Banerjee, author of The Pathan Unarmed, stated that the colonial administration grossly misrepresented the number of people killed. They were completely unprepared for such a situation because, seeing the gathering of Pashtuns, the British assumed there would inevitably be violence. The important thing is that despite being provoked to such an extent, the Khudai Khidmatgars did not deviate from their principle of non-violence. Speaking to the BBC in 1990, Bachar Khan's son and renowned Pashto poet Ghani Khan recalled that two Khudai Khidmatgars secretly visited his father in jail during that time. Bachar Khan forbade them from seeking revenge and sent them to seek support from Muslim leaders across India. Ghani Khan recounted, "They went everywhere, but no one listened. Only Gandhiji stood with us during that time." After the Quasar Khwani Bazaar massacre, the indifference of Muslim leaders in the subcontinent alienated the Khudai Khidmatgars and their political organizations from the Muslim League, pushing them towards support for the Congress party in the following decades. Afrajab Khattak, a former senator of the Awami National Party and a prominent advocate for Pashtun rights, stated that the Khudai Khidmatgar movement initially began as a social reform movement. However, after this incident, Pashtun nationalism took on a political dimension and moved fully toward the struggle for independence. Afrajab Khattak remarked, "The British rulers tried to suppress this incident by labeling it as an act of terrorism and rebellion. But when the truth came to light later, the world realized the extent of the atrocities committed by the British Empire to maintain its rule. If imperialist excesses like the Quasar Khwani massacre remain hidden in darkness, then smaller-scale tragedies have undoubtedly been buried under the oblivious weight of history. According to Bachar Khan's book Meri Zindagi aur Jado-Jihad, My Life in Struggle, merely a month after this incident, at Takkar in Mardan, British officers massacred 70 Khudai Khidmatgars in retaliation for the killing of one of their officers. In August 1931, in the Hatikhill area of Bannu, at least 70 workers gathered in defiance of British orders in an open field and sacrificed their lives for this disobedience. Historian Aisha Jalal believes that Britain's apology will not rectify the injustices of the past. Speaking to the BBC, she said, "The world must acknowledge that crimes against humanity are intolerable and must commit to ensuring they are never repeated." Aisha Jalal noted that it is common for such incidents to be forgotten in colonial history. This massacre was significant in India's struggle for independence and pivotal in the history of Pashtun nationalism. However, events like Quasar Khwani or Jallianwala Bagh do not receive the global attention they truly deserve. However, Afrasiab Khattak argues, some actions must be taken for humanity to set its moral record straight. I believe Britain should apologize for these brutal actions.